A tentative settlement is reached in the wrongful death lawsuit filed by Ashley Babbitt's family. The U.S. Army gears up for a 250th birthday celebration with a massive military parade in D.C., and we'll break down the April jobs report, where hiring slowed but the labor market keeps growing. Plus, it's trivia time. What animal has tiny teeth on its eyeballs? The answer might leave you blinking. It's Sunday, May 4th, and this is the Flyover Podcast. Welcome to the Flyover Podcast, taking you above the noise for an unbiased, high-altitude view of today's headlines with daily coverage that's honest and refreshing. Let's cruise the news and land the facts. Hey there, I'm Amy Hess, and happy Sunday, or should I say, May the 4th be with you. Yes, it's May 4th. And in a house full of Star Wars fans like mine, that means I'm basically outnumbered by Jedi robes, lightsaber duels, and someone trying to make the Chewbacca sound over breakfast. But while they're off in a galaxy far, far away, I'm right here with you, ready to bring you the headlines that matter. No special effects needed. Let's get right to the top headlines and get ready for takeoff. First up, the federal government has reached a tentative settlement with the family of Ashley Babbitt, the woman fatally shot by Capitol Police during the January 6th riot. Babbitt, a 35-year-old Air Force veteran, attempted to climb through a barricaded door near the House chamber when she was shot by Lieutenant Michael Byrd. Her family filed a $30 million wrongful death lawsuit last year, claiming Byrd acted negligently. Byrd was cleared of wrongdoing by an internal investigation, which found his actions may have prevented more serious harm. Attorneys for the Justice Department and Babbitt's estate told a D.C. judge Friday that a settlement had been reached, quote, in principle, end quote, though the terms have not been finalized or made public. The settlement follows President Trump's decision to grant clemency to roughly 1,500 individuals who were charged and in many cases convicted for their roles in the January 6th Capitol riot. Meanwhile, the U.S. Army is planning a major military parade next month in Washington, D.C. to celebrate the Army's 250th birthday. The June 14th event will feature about 6,600 soldiers, 150 vehicles, and 50 helicopters moving from Arlington, Virginia to the National Mall. Expect reenactments and displays from the Revolutionary War through modern-day conflicts, with active duty soldiers and military academy students taking part. The parade will involve multiple federal agencies and security teams, and every division in the Army will be represented. Finally, a farewell to a television icon. Ruth Buzzi, the 70s comedy sketch actress best known for her role on Rowan and McMartin's Laugh-In, has died at age 88. She rose to fame playing the frumpy, purse-swinging character Gladys Ormsby throughout the show's run from 1968 to 1973. Gladys became a fan favorite, known for whacking people over the head whenever they got on her nerves. Buzzi also had a successful voice acting career with standout roles like Susie Kabloozy on Sesame Street from 1993 to 2006 and Mama Bear on The Bernstein Bears. Next, let's take a look at some of the big money stories making headlines. First up, the April jobs report is in. Employers added 177,000 jobs last month, which is down slightly from March's revised total of 185,000. It's a sign the labor market is still growing, just at a slower pace. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is eyeing deep cuts to NASA's budget, about $6 billion worth, but they're not grounding everything. $1 billion would be redirected towards Mars-related projects. And for those of you with high-deductible health insurance plans, there's good news from the IRS. Contribution limits for health savings accounts are going up in 2026, which offer triple tax benefits for eligible high-deductible health insurance plans. All right, let's take a look at how the markets did this past week. Solid gains from most, with only one showing a decline. The Nasdaq led the way, up 8.29%. The S&P 500 gained 5.59%, and the Dow rose 3.10%. Bitcoin also had a strong week, jumping 11.21%. Gold was the only one to slip, down 1.79%. Today's episode is brought to you by David. No, not your cousin or your coworker. David's Protein Bar. They figured out how to give you exactly what you need without all the nonsense. Each bar delivers 28 grams of protein, just 150 calories, and 0 grams of sugar. That means 75% of the calories come straight from protein, not carbs, not filler, and definitely not a candy bar disguised as healthy. And let's talk flavors for a second because the Flyover team is officially divided. We've got a team cinnamon roll and a team cookie dough, but they have other flavors too, like blueberry pie and salted peanut butter. Most bars with that much protein, you're looking at around 300 calories or more packed with sugar, so you might as well eat a cookie. David keeps it clean, simple, and right to the point. High protein, low calorie, and no sugar crash in sight. You're getting the calories of a snack, but the protein power of a meal. And here's the deal. Buy 4 boxes, get the 5th free. Check them out at davidprotein.com or click the link in the show notes below. Still ahead on the Flyover, the winner of the Kentucky Derby. And no, it's not the favorite. The president eyes executive action that could shake up college sports and NIL deals. And we're rewinding to the strangest sandwiches in American history, including one that had high society talking and another that had cardiologists cringing. Don't go anywhere. All right, first up in sports, we have results from the Kentucky Derby. Sovereignty pulled off a muddy upset to win the 151st Kentucky Derby on Saturday at Churchill Downs, entering with 9-1 odds. My pick and the favorite going in, Journalism, came in second. Like I said yesterday, it's usually the horse you didn't see coming. Did you all watch? I hope you did. It was thrilling. All right, next up, we've got some sad news from the world of golf. Jim Dent, a trailblazing black golfer known as one of the longest hitters of his generation, passed away on Friday, May 2nd. He was 85 years old. Meanwhile, a scary moment at PNC Park. Kevin Markwood, the man who fell over the railing at the Pittsburgh Pirates game, remains in critical condition. It remains unclear exactly what happened, but the detectives from the Pittsburgh Police Violent Crime Unit are currently investigating. And finally, a headline making waves in college sports. President Trump is reportedly considering an executive order that would increase scrutiny on how much college athletes are being paid through name, image, and likeness deals, also known as NIL. Trump has directed aides to begin reviewing what such an order might include. Next up is the Rotator, and because it's Sunday, that means it's time for Sunday Rewind, where we take a look back at a few stories from earlier in the week that are still worth a mention. Whether you missed them the first time or just want a second look, we've got you covered. First up, did you know your birthday has a bird? Not just a flower or a gemstone, but a bird that supposedly matches your personality. It's a fun one to check out, and a few birth months stood out to me because they're extra special in my family. All right, May's bird is the nightingale, elusive, musical, and a little hard to spot. October brings the swan, graceful, loyal, and not afraid to protect what's theirs. August folks get the kingfisher, fast-moving and water-loving. February birthdays, you've got the parrot, bright, social, and full of personality. So now I want to know, what bird did you get? If you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify, please let me know in the comments. All right, next up, let's take a stroll down culinary memory lane. Sandwich trends may come and go, but some of these vintage creations, they're in a league of their own. A recent roundup dug up 15 once popular sandwiches that have all but disappeared, including a few that had us scratching our heads and others we might actually try. For example, the pimento cheese sandwich, it's a classic. I've had it myself. I get the hype. It's simple, southern, and seriously good. But then there's the drippings and bacon grease sandwich. Yep, you heard that right. During the Depression and wartime rationing, people saved every bit of grease from the pan, spread it on bread, and called it lunch. Somehow that one was practical and popular, and pretty sure my father-in-law would be all over it. However, I might need to call my cardiologist first before eating one. And if you happen to be high society in the early 1900s, you'd probably recognize the John Bull, a sandwich made with beef, macaroni, celery, onion juice, and mayo. Sounds less like a fancy tea time treat and more like something you'd crave after a hard day of baling hay on the farm. Just goes to show you, taste and trends sure do change over time. So what's the weirdest sandwich you've ever had? Let me know in the comments. All right, and for this next story, what did I tell you about May 4th? The force is strong today. Our next story fits right in. A real-life flying motorcycle has just taken off. And yes, it looks exactly like those speeders from Return of the Jedi. The new Volonaut air bike is a single-seat ride that uses jet power to hover and fly at speeds up to 124 miles per hour. It's small, fast, and built for smooth control without any exposed propellers. It's not available to the public just yet, but it's one of the clearest signs that flying cars, at least in some form, might not be sci-fi forever. Still ahead, what are Americans really using AI for in 2025? The top answer might surprise you. And the answer to our trivia question sounds like it came straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it's 100% real. Stay tuned. Now it's time for some quick hits, those stories that may not make front page news, but definitely spark a little curiosity. First up, artificial intelligence is getting personal. A new ranking shows the top ways people are using AI in 2025, and the number one spot? Therapy and companionship. That's followed closely by life organization and even using AI to help find purpose. A big shift from last year when idea generation and search topped the list. Experts say it reflects a growing trend of people turning to AI, not just for productivity, but for support in daily life. Next, if you're looking for a baby name that no one else in your playgroup has, this new list might help. A child care agency compiled the rarest baby names by state using Social Security data from the last 20 years. Some standouts? No Name in Arizona, Alik in California, and Sabarin in Minnesota. Not sure exactly how to pronounce some of those, but they're definitely unique. And then there's Baby Boy. Yep, spelled just like it sounds. And it topped the list in New Hampshire. You really can't get more on the nose than that. And finally, a little snack aisle nostalgia. A new essay reveals the surprising story behind America's most iconic cracker packaging, from Ritz to animal crackers to shredded wheat. Turns out a man named Sidney Stern, widowed and raising 3 young kids, took a job at Nabisco in the 1930s and went on to design some of the most recognizable boxes in grocery store history. He's the one who created the bold blue Ritz logo, added the polar bear to the animal crackers box, and made shredded wheat look way more appetizing. He worked there 31 years, lived to be 99, and was eventually inducted into the Ritz Hall of Fame. Not bad for someone who started by sketching designs on a cardboard circle in his fedora. If you want more information on any of today's quick hits, or to check out some news stories, like a stunning tree painting by a Russian artist, a blast from the past newsreel on the 1939 World's Fair, or a chart showing how the world's median age has changed, just head to the Flyover email edition. It's free, it's easy, and it only takes a few seconds to sign up at jointheflyover.com. Now it's time for our poll position where we turn the mic over to you. We asked our email subscribers, have you ever watched or listened to the Flyover podcast? 86% of you said no. Ouch. 14% said yes. Yay. Hey, we're just getting started, so we get it. But if you're listening right now or watching right now, thank you. You're helping us even out the scoreboard. All right, for today's question, which TV game show would you most like to be a contestant on? Your options are Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, Price is Right, Family Feud, Other, or none, ever. As for me, I think I'd go with Family Feud. There's a lot of pressure as a game show contestant, but at least you get to share the stress with your relatives, right? Plus, I love games that involve a little light psychoanalysis, trying to guess how people think or what the top answers might be. So what will you choose? Cast your vote in today's email edition or head to jointheflyover.com to sign up and make your voice heard. Time to wrap things up with a little brain boost. It's trivia time. Remember, our question of the day is, what animal has tiny teeth on its eyeballs? Nope, this isn't a creature dreamed up by George Lucas. It's real, and it's the whale shark. These gentle giants don't have eyelids, and their eyes stick out from either side of their head, so scientists believe the tiny dermal denticles, yes, basically teeth, help protect their eyes from the elements. Just goes to show you, truth can be stranger than fiction. All right, we have officially landed today's episode of The Flyover. Thanks for starting your morning with me. Whether you're walking the dog, heading to church, or just sipping your cup of coffee, I'm so glad we could spend this time together. If you haven't already, make sure to like, subscribe, and share the podcast with a friend. It's one of the best ways to help us grow. And don't forget our email edition. We even have several state editions too, for curated news that hits a little closer to home. All right, Ayla's back with you tomorrow for the weekday rundown, and I'll see you again next weekend with more of the stories that matter and maybe even one to text to your group chat. Until then, enjoy your Sunday, and as always, thanks for flying with us.